nobody thinks about the meaning of life, except during an identity crisis. I've been thinking about it for the last 60 years. Strange phrase that, the meaning of life. What is life? A paragraph? Is it a sentence? I mean, except for convicted felons. I think it all comes from having a life story, which reminds me of a poem. People insist that you have a life story. A story explaining how you became you. A version you use when you're seeking employment. Another you use when you're out on a date. People desire that your story have meaning. People require that your story make sense. People aren't pleased if your story is boring. People demand that your story not change. Make sure your hero with gumption and courage, facing adversity, wins in the end. I made it my story to satisfy people, and now they have the gall to inquire if it's true. The most I will say is, it's truly a story inspired by actual events. So there you have it. A story has a meaning, you have a life story, therefore your life has a meaning, or a bunch of meanings. Life is like a bunch of short stories we're trying to work into a novel. Life is a manuscript in search of a good editor. I think that a life story really is a lot like a resume. It tells you and everybody else what to expect from you. And when you go through a life transition, you have to update your resume. You have to revise your life story, including some incidents, ignoring others, changing the interpretation of some episodes, and rewriting some others. While you are revising your life story, life is meaningless, the old story having been lost, and the new story not yet having been found.